One thing guaranteed in FPL, a high is soon followed by somewhat of a low. Hello there, hope you're having a great Tuesday. What is up guys, and welcome to FPL Today and the FPL Team Selection video for Double Gameweek 26. Yes, we've got another double, we've got another quick turnaround of fixtures, and we now have to consider if we are playing our wildcard or if we're just going to transfer in a couple of options to try and make the most of this double game week and potentially even bench boost. But before we get into this video, if you do enjoy the content here on FPL Today, there's also a channel called FPL Tomorrow which you can follow, which will contain stream clips from my streams over on Twitch, where I do answer your guys' questions and sometimes watch some games with you guys as well. So go and follow me on FPL Tomorrow on YouTube and also on JNo on Twitch and get more involved with me and the FPL game. So we start off today's video, of course, with how we're doing so far in Double Game Week 25. Yes, double game weeks everywhere. And we only have one more game left to play, and that is, of course, Southampton versus Leeds. And hopefully that game will turn my game week around because it's looking pretty average at the moment. We start off with the players that have returned, and the main man was Bruno Fernandes, which makes me regret just slightly not captaining him like I planned to. Because the idea was Bruno Fernandes against Newcastle was always capable of getting 2 returns in that game, and just my confidence in Bamford performing for me when I need him to, and also Leeds performing for me when I need them to, is pretty low right now, having owned their players for a while and not performing, and then as soon as I jumped off they started to. So a little disappointed that I didn't stick to my initial guns of going with Bruno Fernandes captain, but we will see how Bamford does in the Leeds game. We also have our defenders coming in clutch with 6 points apiece for John Stones and Matt Loughton, with Cancelo only getting 5 because of a yellow card, and Areola outscoring Martinez, which is the important thing as we selected him between the sticks. Unfortunately, Shaw couldn't actually get a clean sweep across the defence for points, only getting 2 points as Man United did concede against Newcastle due to St. Maximin, and Ilkay Gundogan and Salah both not getting any returns to speak of in their fixtures. Liverpool again looking very disappointed, but Ilkay has been such a legend for me, will allow him a week where he doesn't return. And then finally we've got the players still to play, and it is players that have already played in Rafinha and Bamford for Leeds, and of course Ings for Southampton. Now, it's disappointing that none of them have got any returns just yet, but Rafinha's underlying stats were brilliant in the game against Wolves, so we're hopeful that Rafinha can get something, although if Rafinha outscores Bamford, then we will be disappointed in the fact that we didn't take the punt captaining him over Bamford as well. Ings was never a captain shout for me, but hopefully it's a high scoring game with Leeds versus Southampton so we can get a bucket load of points to up our game week score. On the bench we didn't make any wrong decisions apart from potentially Calvert-Lewin managing to get 4 points as he came off the bench to actually score against Liverpool. Now, with Ings and Bamford hopefully set to play in their double game week, they should at least get 4 points apiece. Bamford, of course, already on 4 points. So Calvert-Lewin probably wasn't a player I did need to play unless I played him over the likes of Mohamed Salah. Either way, it would have only been 2 extra points. Martinez with 2 points, meaning he didn't outscore Areola for this game week, and Cresswell with 2 points at the end of the bench there, and of course Grealish not playing, which was discovered as soon as the deadline passed, as a bunch of Aston Villa staff had taken Grealish out of their FPL sides. All of that means we're currently on a score of 52 points, but with a -4, which was taken to bring in Ings as a 1 week punt, we are actually on 48 points, which is 8 points above the game week average. This is recorded before the Brighton Hove Albion Crystal Palace game, so potentially the rank could change. Maybe a few people have Brighton defence, so if they keep a clean sheet, that could hurt me, but otherwise I'm not too fearful of that fixture massively affecting my overall rank. And currently that overall rank stands at 196,413th, so we are currently in the top 200k, but of course that could soon change with how things go over the next couple of days. So we look at the player at risk, and to be honest, it has to be one man, and that's Danny Ings, with Everton away next. Southampton and Ings aren't necessarily a pairing that I'm comfortable with right now, as I'm not confident in Southampton's form. They also have no game week in blank game week 29, so ideally, if I'm not going to use my wildcard, we would like to bring in some players with double game weeks that also have a fixture in that game, which of course means we probably want some Spurs cover, as they both have a double game week next and a fixture in game week 29. He was always a punt for me for this current game week, and with DCL back in the picture at Everton, Bamford and Calvert-Lewin don't seem like players I need to change right now. So guys, before we get into the Game Week 26 team selection, please do consider checking out partners of the channel, Fantasy Football Hub. All the data on FPL Today is taken from the Fantasy Football Hub, with tools such as player comparison to choose the best players out of two options, Opta-Stats tables to see who could be hitting form soon and who will be amongst the goals, and a fixture ticker so you know who has not just the form but also the fixtures to match, and so much more, like articles and coverage of other fantasy football games. Ask yourself why you haven't joined the Fantasy Football Hub. It's just £2 a month to unlock your FPL potential. If you want to support the channel in any way, show Fantasy Football Hub what a great partner we can be to them by signing up with the top link in the description down below and get access to all the stuff that I use to help me make my FPL decisions. Anyway, on to Game Week 26, and we start off with the goalkeepers and defenders as usual, and we'll start off as well with the fact that I'm not sure if I'm going to play my wildcard or not. Hopefully I'll make that decision before the next video this week, and also apologies for no extra video last week, but they released the fixtures so late, and I wanted to make the video based on the fixtures, and then they just kind of screwed me a little bit by releasing so late, but they did it to everyone that makes FPL content, so I can't accuse them of just aiming at me. But anyway, goalkeepers in defence, we do have Martinez in goal with Leeds and Sheffield United both away, but Martinez has been an absolute beast and there's no way I'm not putting him between the sticks for a double game week. We also have Shaw with Chelsea away and Crystal Palace away. Now Chelsea, they look decent, but again of course they didn't do bits against Southampton, so potentially Shaw could get some points in this one with his creativity and the possibility of Man United keeping clean sheets. And then Cancelo and Stones with West Ham at home and Wolves at home. They've just been getting clean sheets against everyone, so I'm not going to bet against those two. And hopefully Cancelo can avoid a yellow card and actually pick up some assists. There was a ball he played across the box where if Man City had someone like Aguero in there, I feel like would have been a guaranteed goal, but there was no one in the box, which was a shame. But Cancelo definitely staying. Stones may be at risk if I really want to bring in Kevin De Bruyne. We then move on to the midfield, and we have Bruno Fernandes with the captaincy armband. Didn't captain him in Game Week 25, but we will in Game Week 26, most likely, with Chelsea away and Crystal Palace away. There's a chance I'll play triple captain, but again, not too sure about this, and it could go to someone who I transfer in, but we shall see. With Ilkay Gundogan having the vice-captaincy armband at the moment, with West Ham at home and Wolves at home. Some nice fixtures there. Could Ilkay repeat the heroics of the previous double game week he was in? And then Rafinha is also in the midfield with Aston Villa at home and Salah with Sheffield United away and Chelsea at home. Now, Salah's still capable of scoring points and it is a double game week. So do we keep him or do we go elsewhere? That is the question. But if we wildcard, his place is probably up for grabs. And then up front we have Dominic Calvert-Lewin with the double game week of Southampton at home and West Bromwich Albion away, with Ings and Bamford with only single fixtures, which is why Ings is at risk. Bamford probably keeping his place unless I wildcard, purely because he does have that fixture in blank game week 29. And then on the bench, we do have double game week players in Areola with Crystal Palace and Spurs, Grealish, if we hear good news about him, with Leeds and Sheffield United, and Loughton with Tottenham and Leicester, although those fixtures aren't that great, even if they are a double game week. And then also Cresswell with Man City as his lone fixture. So Grealish is really the one there that decides if bench boost is even a viable option, purely because if he's fit, then Leeds and Sheffield United would be a decent one to play him in. And then maybe the bench boost would come into effect. Because I kind of want to play my wildcard after the bench boost is gone, which is complete opposite of what I usually do. But I feel like I then might distribute my funds in a more sensible fashion if bench boost is already out the window. And finally, we move on to the ones to watch. These are the guys that performed so well in Game Week 25 that we're going to be keeping an eye on them in Game Week 26. And we will include some players that I do have in my side because, let's be honest, I make these videos to help you guys as well as to help myself. So we want to let you guys know if any of my players have performed well enough, I think you should consider them for your FPL sides. Now, the first player we're looking at is Harvey Barnes. And to be honest, you can look at any Leicester player right now because Leicester look in hot form and look like they want to make sure they get a Champions League place next season. Harvey Barnes probably stands out alongside the likes of Maddison and Vardy as options, but Harvey Barnes at 6.8 million offers you the cheapest route into that Leicester side and managed to get 1 goal and 1 assist in the game week just gone from 4 shots, 3 from inside the box, 1 on target and 1 big chance. His expected goals was only at 0.51 and his expected assists at 0.25, but he still returned in both categories with 4 key passes to his name. Now, Harvey Barnes and Leicester, to me, just look like a side that potentially could be very important for us till the end of this season. We then have Rafinha coming in at 5.4 million, and despite the fact he didn't get a goal or an assist, he did lay on 3 big chances from 6 key passes. He literally put it on a plate for Cooper, and Cooper could just not finish. Expected assists at 1.43 with no assist is unusual to see. It's just unfortunate that the chances he created weren't put away. He also had 4 shots, 3 from inside the box and 1 on target. We expected goals at 0.23. And if anyone's going to return in that Leeds Southampton game, I'm imagining it's going to be Rafinha, and hopefully I can get some points off it. Third up is Raheem Sterling, who, to be honest, isn't a favoured player of mine. I always say I might take the risk with him, but I always tend to not go towards Raheem Sterling. I don't know what it is. I just don't get on with him that well in FPL. He always scores well when I don't own him and doesn't score well when I do. However, 11.6 million, he managed to get 1 goal in the game we've just gone from 3 shots on goal, 2 on target, 3 from inside the box and 2 big chances. Expected goals at 0.99, which is very decent indeed. Key passes, he only had 1 with expected assists at 0.21. And to be honest, I often worry that he's not very involved in the games depending on the formation that Man City play. However, he is one to watch and does have a double game week. And then finally, we're looking at another single game week player who did well in game week 25, and that is St. Maximin at 5.1 million. Now, if Newcastle are going to do well this season, they need players like St. Maximin to perform, and he did manage to get 1 goal in his game from 3 shots, 3 on target, 2 from inside the box, and expected goals at 0.48. However, creativity, he didn't return any good numbers and had expected assists at 0.11. So he's on the watch list, but to be fair, I would probably suggest no one transfer him in for Double Game Week 26. And guys, that is it for this video. So if you have enjoyed the content, you know what to do. You guys have been supporting the channel for a while now, and it is greatly appreciated. So hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for FPL. And if you want more content or want more direct contact with me, go over to Twitch and follow me on Twitch. It's J_no. Link is in the description. And also check out FPL Tomorrow, which will show clips from my live streams in case you want to catch up on any other topics I discuss in those but can't catch the live stream. With all that being said, I've been J&O, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.